The Ukrainian Air Force saying Russia has fired an intercontinental ballistic missile in the central eastern city of Dnipro. If true, this would be the first known use of these powerful nuclear-capable missiles. And this as the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv has reopened following...
Nuclear capable. So I'm assuming that they can attach a nuclear warhead to it or some other type of warhead. But they have chosen not to use nuclear warheads yet.
An urgent warning that Russia might launch a significant air attack on the capital city. Tensions remain high in the region after Ukraine used long-range British missiles and American-made ballistic missiles to strike Russian territory for the first time. President Biden also expanding Ukraine's arsenal by agreeing to give the country anti-personnel landmines.
The landmines that we would look to provide them would be landmines that are not persistent. You know, we can control when they would self-activate, self-detonate, and that makes it far more safer eventually than the things that they are creating on their own.
John Elliott is the former Trump national security aide and author of the new book, The Biden-Harris Betrayal, Weak and Woke on the World Stage. And John joins me now. John, good morning to you. So how big of a deal is this news that Ukraine is saying that Russia has fired an intercontinental ballistic missile for the first time?
Well, Carly, good morning. It's absolutely a big deal if it's true, just as you said. What this would represent a major escalation by Russia in the war against Ukraine. And this follows on what the Biden administration did just the last couple days. They allowed for attacks, directly long-range attacks, 130, 190 miles, up to 190 miles into the territory of Russia that's never been authorized before. These are U.S. weapons that are now authorized to go directly against Russia. And then also what Lloyd Austin was just saying there about the anti-personnel mines, those have never been given over there, and those are very, very dangerous. Once again, that's a major escalation. So if true, this ICBM that was launched for the first time against Ukraine, this would mean a major escalation, really a response to the provocation that the Biden administration is doing in the last throes. We got 2 months going in this administration. President Trump has said that he's going to ramp this war down. And suddenly, why are we provoking the Russians and then having a tit for tat? Meantime, there's more going on in Iran that we can talk about. But we're on the verge of World War III in 2 locations on the Biden-Harris watch. And it's coming in the last 2 months before President Trump gets in office.
That's what y'all wanted to vote in, right? Y'all wanted Harrison. Y'all wanted to keep this going. Y'all wanted World War III. Trump is Hitler.
And this is outrageous.
Okay, so also Vladimir Putin just lowered the threshold for the country to be allowed to use nuclear weapons. Their current stance is essentially they could use nuclear weapons if they're attacked at any time. So where do you think all of this is going?
Well, once again, we're on the verge of World War III right now because Putin has said that there was a red line. He said that if we allow Ukraine to attack.
Can you tell me why he even invaded? I had heard it was something about making Russia what it was before or something like that. So I guess Ukraine was part of Russia. No, it's not. Now he wants it back or something. Like, that's irritating to me. You know what I mean? I'm just like, well, you just want more land, more power. Like, okay, like, I don't know their history, but I'm kind of like, did it really have to come to this? Is it kind of like the whole Taiwan, China situation? Like, I don't know.
Directly long-range missiles into Russian territory, then that was a red line, and that he threatened nuclear action as a result of that. And look, we also have the Iranians who are 1 month away from building several nuclear weapons right there. And so this is, once again, the instability that's brought about through the Biden-Harris weakness. We saw it in Afghanistan. There was a green light for Putin to go 2 years ago into Russia, 2.5 years ago now. And so this is something where Russia is right on the edge right now. And this is something that we need President Trump in office right away so that he can ramp down these conflicts and just bring peace to that region.
So, John, there are also those in the Republican Party who think that President Biden should have already done this, given Ukraine the ability to strike deep inside Russia from day one, give them everything they want. You could make the argument that that would be the peace through strength position. What about that?
Well, it's not the case because, once again, this is something where President Putin is ready to negotiate because he knows for a long time that this is a position.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, what is the justification for this? So what she just said right there, okay, but no. You know what I mean?
Position that President Trump has had, and that he will, as a deal maker, he's the art of the deal, and he'll be able to push both sides together. But what this risks right now is something that can spiral out of control very quickly. We saw the use, if this is true, the report of the ICBM being used. That's the first time ever, and that shows that all you need to do is put a nuclear warhead on that, and we've got World War III. So this is something that is very dangerous. And if we're looking to strengthen the hand of Zelensky, the Ukrainians, against Russia, this is a very dangerous game to play, and we need to be very careful and get President Trump in office so that he can push both sides together and get a deal here.
Tense times. John Elliott, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Need to get him in early. What the hell, man? This is stressful, irritating, maddening, sad. I'm so sick of this. Well, here's the thing. I was listening to Ben Shapiro, and I was listening actually to a few other channels yesterday, and they're basically like, he's not going to use nuclear warheads. Like it's such a last resort type of thing, because you know the power of them. You do that, you're basically saying, okay, you truly want the end of the world. That's it. Over. You want everybody to kill themselves. So, while a lot of world leaders have nukes, they don't necessarily, they're not going to use them like that, because it's like, really? You want to stay in power? You want your people, your country to thrive, or do you just want to end the world? Like, you know what I'm saying? It would, yeah. So, and I'm hoping. I haven't heard of Putin being a madman, so hopefully he's not crazy enough to use them. Post your comments down below. Let me know any details you may know that I may not know about. Help me out down there.